Hi guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. So today I am building here in the world of Selvadorada, which is of course the world that we got in the Jungle Adventure game pack. So for this build I am doing something that is a vacation house, obviously, because unfortunately you cannot have your Sims live in Selvadorada. I really hope that changes. I'm not sure if it ever will, but I mean, you can have vacations now in any like residential world, so why can't we live in the vacation world? Well, hopefully that will change at some point, but for now it's purely a vacation world, and I am building something for some honeymooners. I thought this would be perfect to like complement my wedding stories, but also complement the CC that I'm using. I'm using CC by Harry and Felixander. They've collaborated on so many different sets now, and their latest one is called the Harlux Resort set, and it's based on or inspired by a trip that they recently took to Mexico, which I think is so cool. And I think the items, they're beautiful. I mean, everything that they make is like so pretty. It's so nice. Like, I'm always so impressed, and they're just true artists. And so I just highly recommend you guys check out their Patreon pages, their website. I will have everything linked in the description box. Their website is called House of Harlux, and that's where you can find a lot of information about both Harry and Felixander, but also their collaboration sets, and you can find links there to their Patreon pages. But I will also have those links so you guys can find them really easily. So far they've collaborated on like a kids room set, they've collaborated on living room, a kitchen set, a bathroom set. They even made 2 sets that complement cottage living, which is called the organic set, and it's one of my favorite things ever. That's where these archways came from that I'm using here on the exterior. It's so pretty. And also the stone recolor from cottage living, I'm using it on the lower half of the build. It's beautiful. But yeah, their latest set is called the Harlux Resort set, and it was inspired by a trip that they took to Mexico. So I thought Selvadorada would be perfect just to complement the items really nicely, because this is the world that we have that's closest to Mexico that we have in game. But also some of their other sets have items from Jungle Adventure that they've sort of like remeshed or used certain patterns from, or certain things like that. And so I really thought that their other sets would fit nicely here too. And I'm so impressed. Like, even items that I wasn't really certain, like the organic set, like so many things fit so nicely in this build, at least in my opinion. You guys could let me know if you agree, but yeah, I just thought everything kind of worked really well in this world, and I think the house just turned out to be so pretty. When I first started building it, I was thinking that it would probably have more than one bedroom because I felt like it was kind of large, and it is a pretty good sized build, but it only has one bedroom, which I think is perfect for a honeymoon build. But if you wanted to come here with a family, they won't fit, because at least the way I did the floor plan, you guys could always redo it and make it bigger for like a family or something. But I really just wanted to have like a big luxurious suite, and once I did that, there was no room for any other bedrooms. But there is lots of like seating area, and like the dining table has lots of chairs, so it looks like lots of Sims could be here, which I think it's kind of funny. But anyways, yeah, the shape of the build is starting to come together. I really like building in this style. It's something that I just do not do enough. Like, I haven't built in this world in way too long. I'm not really sure what the last build that I did in this world was. I don't really know. I feel like it might have been that big monastery I built, or mission build that I built. But I don't know if it was. That's been a really long time. And if it is that build, that's a shame, and I should build here more often. But yeah, over here on the back of the build, I do like an outdoor dining area with a fireplace and a bar area. And something that I think is so cool from their Harlux Resort set is they have this actual bar like counter decoration that just snaps to surfaces, and your Sims actually can pull drinks from it. So it functions just as a bar would, like the actual bar counters, but it's just a decorative like countertop piece. Am I making any sense? I feel like I just explained that in the worst way possible. Either way, it looks just like a decoration, but it's actually a functioning bar. It's so cool. And they also have a vanity that is in that same sort of style, and I think that is just like the best way to do it, because there's so many items in the Sims 4 that are so bulky and you can't really fit them in most regular builds. Like, most people in their regular home would not have like a full-on bar counter to have drinks. They would be able to pull it just out of like a little drink set or out of the refrigerator, but the Sims need like a full-on bar. And same with like the grand pianos. They're nice, they're pretty, but most regular homes cannot fit a grand piano, and even if they could, they look so out of place. And so a regular size piano would be nice. And then also the vanity table, they're cute. I like the vanity sets that came from, oh, what did it come from? Vintage Glamour. I like them, but it would be so much more practical just to have a small like table decoration that your Sims could interact with. And I think that about a lot of the different items, like the arts and crafts table thing that the children can use. It's a cute little item, but it would be so much better if they could actually sit at like a dining table or a desk and do arts and crafts that way. I think that would be so much better. But anyways, here I'm working on the floor plan. I really wanted it to be mostly open and like spacious and feel quite modern for the style of the architecture. Like I feel like this is an older style build and probably a older building, but it's been updated and renovated to be like a luxurious vacation home. So I think that makes sense, and I think it definitely has that feeling. Here at the top of the staircase, I had this very awkward space, and so I didn't know what to do with it, and I didn't want to remove the window and like fill it in completely with like a platform or close it in somehow. And so what I decided to do is just use some platforms, but only raise it up a little bit, and then I fill it with plants. And I thought this was kind of like an interesting piece. I'm not sure how realistic it looks or anything, or how good it looks necessarily. I wasn't sure if I even liked it, but I decided to leave it as is because I do like it. I just feel like I may have been able to do something better. I just couldn't think of it in the moment, and I still can't really think of it. So you guys will have to let me know. But yeah, it was kind of an interesting piece. Here I'm just picking some archways to lead into like the kitchen and the outdoor dining area. I also used a lot of fireplaces in this build. There's one in the master suite, there's two outside, one on the back patio and one on the upper balcony, and then there's one in the living room too. So I'm not really sure how cold it ever gets here, but there's so many good fireplaces that I like had to use. Like the one from Jungle Adventure, it's beautiful. The ones from the various different sets by Harry and Felixander are so good, and so I just had to use them. And plus they're nice and cozy and kind of romantic, and that's how I wanted this build to feel. Here I wanted to do the landscaping, but I had no idea how I wanted to do the landscaping. So what I do is just put some fencing around. I attempted some of the landscaping, but you guys won't see that here in this part. I do finish the landscaping though at the end of the video. This fence that I'm using, most of it is from base game. It's just like the mission style base game fence that we have, but the one that I'm using that looks more like a wire fence, that came from the Harlequ's Resort set, which I didn't even realize originally was in that set. I was looking for just a base game fence or something from another pack, and I saw it, and I think it is so cool. It's such a unique looking fence, and it's not something I would have expected. So it was a really nice, pleasant surprise because I didn't know that was a part of the set. But anyways, here I'm moving on to the interior. So right away you can see the beautiful CC, these rugs, the fireplace, the wallpaper that I'm using in here. I think I might change it at some point. I can't remember if I leave it at this one, but it's a beautiful CC wallpaper. And those leaves, those like dried palm leaves, I don't think I ended up finding a spot to use in this or use them in this build. I don't think I did, but I need to use them at some point. I need to use this CC again and use them because they're so beautiful. They would have worked along that wall, but I wanted to have like a cabinet or some sort of like counter decoration or side table or something. I placed a side table there originally, but I ended up moving it in between the archways, and then I used a cabinet that came from Jungle Adventure there, and I sized it up slightly using the tool mod, and I think it looks so good. So you guys will see that here in just a little bit. And then over here next to the fireplace, I felt like both of these sides looked a bit awkward, and I wasn't sure how to fill them in and make them feel like decorated in a way that I thought looked nice. So I tried out a few different things, a few different decorations. I of course placed a couple of plants, which I think is probably the best go-to anytime you have empty space, especially in a build like this. It's like tropical. You can put plants anywhere and they go. But what I ended up using is actually these long like wall slat decorations. These things, I don't know what you call them, but I thought they looked so cool here, and I thought they were such like an interesting sort of design element and sort of, I don't know, just something that looked interesting that I would have not expected I would have liked so much, but I really did. And so I think it looks so cute. And these couches and chairs came from the Harlequ's Resort set. I loved this color combination of this sort of like minty sage green color with the red. I thought that was so pretty, and it really spurred on like the whole color scheme for the build. I mean, most of the colors that I'm using are quite natural looking, lots of like sandy tones, different shades of like browns and whites, but I felt like the pops of red really added a lot to the build. So I really enjoyed that, and I think the color combination of those are they're perfect. And the texture's perfect. Like, I loved them so much. But yeah, over here I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do, so what I ended up doing is moving that side table that I just placed to the left of the archway, and I moved it to the right of the kitchen archway, if that makes any sense, and then placed that cabinet from Jungle Adventure like I was talking about, and that's one of my favorite things that I did in this build. Over here is the entryway. I just placed like a chair in here, some entryway items, just some simple decorations. I tried to keep most of the decorations in here quite simple because it is a vacation home. I did want it to feel like Sims are actively on vacation here, but they don't live here. Like, nobody lives here full time. It's purely a vacation house, so I wanted it to have that more of a feeling where it's not overly cluttered or personalized, and so I tried to hold back on some of the details like that, but it still feels fully decorated in my opinion. Like, it has everything that it needs. But anyways, over here is going to be the downstairs bathroom. It's quite small, but it definitely serves its purpose of just being a downstairs bathroom, you know, one that your Sims can use when they're downstairs, but also as they're quickly leaving the door to go explore the jungle or the town nearby, which I think is a pretty nice idea. I really like imagining the Sims like coming here on vacation and going and exploring the little city and the villages and stuff. I think that's so cute. But yeah, I think the bathroom turned out really nice. I especially like that little table that I put next to the sink, because that sink that I used in there has 0 counter space. It's a very small sink, but I think adding that side table there, which is a few decorations, really makes it feel like whoever owns this vacation home has left some like complimentary soaps and like shampoos and some towels and stuff ready for your Sims to use. And then over here is of course going to be the kitchen, and something that I really liked here in the kitchen is I used some counters from 2 different of their sets. So the main counters that I'm using for the majority of the kitchen came from their kitchen set, but then the ones that I'm using both on the left and right of the stove came from their patio themed set, and I think they work perfectly together because of course the colors are identical, so they match perfectly. There's no weird like color difference, but there's also no visual glitches on the countertops because they are overlapping slightly, but thankfully there's no glitching, and it looks so good. I mean, if you actually like highlight it, there's a little bit of a glitch, but in regular gameplay or when your like mouse cursor isn't hovered over it, you can't even tell. So it looks really good in my opinion, so I was really excited about that. But yeah, basically in here I tried to add quite a few decorations. This is probably the most cluttered area of the build, but I think it's essential, especially if you're coming to stay in like a home on vacation. You're probably going to buy groceries, you're going to want to cook a lot, and so having a lot of kitchen supplies is pretty necessary. And so I felt like that didn't take away too much from like the vacation home feel. And I think it looks really good with all of the items, and I think the Jungle Adventure stove and refrigerator worked really nicely in here, as well as the shelf that I'm using just above the teapot that has like some wine glasses and different little decorations on it. So I was really pleased with the way that looked. And then also the shelf that I'm using above the stove also came from Jungle Adventure, and it works so nicely in here. Like, most of the items that I'm using in this build are custom content, but the items that I'm using that aren't, a lot of them came from Jungle Adventure, like this flooring in here, this big cabinet that I'm putting over here next to the dining table, and then those 2 items that I just talked about in the kitchen. And I'm not sure what pack, I think even that chandelier that I'm using with the candles in the living area, I think that might have also came from Jungle Adventure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I really think it did. But anyways, I did not feel like the kitchen had enough decorations. And I also felt like there was a bit of an awkward space over here to just like the right of these windows. And so I just filled it in with some shelving and added like a few decorations and clutter pieces up on top of it. And I think this looks really good. So I'm really happy that I did that, but I'm also just really happy with the way this shelf turned out. I sized it up just slightly using the tool mod because it's a bit small. I feel like it's kind of weird because some items in The Sims 4 are so oversized and ridiculous and you could like never use them, but this is an item that I feel like they could have gone a little bit bigger on. But either way, the tool mod is very useful when it comes to those things because you can make very tiny adjustments to things sizes, like very small. But the cheat in The Sims 4 is the bracket keys. In case you guys didn't know, you can size them up and down with the left bracket key and then size it up with the right bracket key. But the increments that they size up in are quite dramatic. Sometimes they like double or triple in size, which most of the time is fine, but every once in a while you need things to be a little bit more subtle, and the tool mod is very, very handy. But yeah, here I am doing some crazy cluttering things. I don't really know why I made this so difficult on myself. I make it a little bit easier here in the moment, but I was trying to use these shelves kind of like in place of the OMSP shelf, which works fine, but it wasn't necessary, and I think I was just making it more complicated for myself. But I wanted this build, or I wanted this shelf rather, to be more cluttered, and so yeah, I just added a few decorations on it, and I think it looks so good. I especially love that it has like the wine rack in the center and there's different bottles of wine on there. I think it looks so good, and I just think this spot ended up being so cute, and I'm happy that I thought to use this shelf and I moved the side table that was there originally. I think that looks so good. But yeah, anyways, moving on to the second floor. So this is where the master suite is. There's also a little area at the top of the staircase where I put a study nook, just basically just a little desk in case your Sims come here and they have any work to do, or they need to browse something on the computer or buy something. Computers are just always really handy to have. I don't think I actually put a computer on that desk necessarily, but maybe your Sims have a laptop that they can use. But of course, if you're here on vacation, you could just always go into build mode. I mean, you have to turn on a cheat to get in build mode when you're on vacation, which is kind of annoying, but it's a possibility. So I think all you have to do is type in bb.enable free build, I think that's what you have to do. But anyways, yeah, over here I'm placing another fireplace like I was talking about and cluttering up the top of it with a few different decorations. I just love these CC decorations, like that vase and the bowl and the picture frame and the candles and the plants, and everything looks so good. And also this TV that I'm using above the fireplace, it looks like a piece of artwork, but it's a TV. It's a fully functioning TV, but I love that instead of having the big modern screen, there's a piece of art that your Sims can look at. This is just the, I think, default swatch, but there's other swatches and other variations of the artwork, but I felt like this one was nice and like clean and simple and didn't distract the eye too much from the other decorations. So yeah, I just left it at that. But over here is that vanity set that I was talking about. So this vanity set is fully functional. I did play test it. I actually ended up swapping out this desk for another table that your Sims could actually slide a chair under, just to make that area a little bit more functional. So I think you'll see that in the screenshots. I'm pretty sure I changed it after or before I took the screenshots. Hopefully I did, but if not, if you download this from the gallery, you will see that, because I also had to make a few changes in the bathroom, which I'll talk about here in just a moment. But yeah, I wanted there to be a seating area in front of the fireplace, so it's maybe a bit cluttered with furniture, but I tried to place it in a way that I thought looked nice and felt a little bit more purposeful, like everywhere had its place, and I think it looks super cute. But yeah, over here is the bathroom. There's a tiny little room for the toilet, and that's what that door leads into. I think I forgot to actually place a toilet in there while I was building, but when I went to go take the screenshots, I realized it. So you're not really missing too much. I placed a toilet in a room and some toilet paper. But yeah, over here, I decided to have it be really romantic, have a double shower. It's nice and open to the bedroom, which I feel like is perfect for like basically any master suite. I just think it looks really good, especially in The Sims 4 when you're taking screenshots. I just really like it, but for a honeymoon build, I feel like it's completely necessary. But yeah, over here is the sink area. I ended up swapping out the counters for that table that I have by the vanity instead of the counters, because I couldn't have this sink be functional with it raised up on top of the counters, but it is functional on a regular surface like a side table, well, not a side table, but like a tabletop or a desk or something like that. So I moved that side table in there just to make the sink actually functional, but everything else worked, and it was yeah, super cute, I think. But anyways, over here is going to be the office area. This desk is a CC item, and it looks so good. I really like the shape of it, and I love the leather strap as the handle on the drawer. That looks really good in my opinion. So I like that detail, and these curtains, I loved adding a little bit more red with this curtain swatch. These curtains actually came in the organic set, which was like their complimentary 2-part set that like complements cottage living. So I'm really happy about those. I think they look really good in this style and with these items. But yeah, this area I just tried to have fun with because it's just kind of like a bonus area that I really wasn't sure what to do with. So I just added plants in here. I added this little bench over here, which I love this bench because it has the blankets thrown over the side of it. Oh, it looks so good. But yeah, this is the area that I was talking about that's kind of, I don't know, a bit of an awkward space, but I tried to make it look purposeful and like it's a design element in the build itself, and the people who own it purposely did. I don't know. I played around with it for a while. I really wanted to use this wall decoration that they have, but it didn't really fit in the space. It was a bit too, I think, big, and then when I scaled it down, it just wasn't the right length. And so I just put in a couple of potted plants and then also some like grass, which I think actually looks really good. Then over here in the corner, I just put a little chair and this hanging plant that came from the plant room kit. But yeah, I think this space turned out to be super cute, and I like how it has a view of the jungle and of course the swimming pool down below and like the balcony and everything. So yeah, back here is the back patio next to the fireplace. This fireplace did come with Jungle Adventure like I was saying, and I loved this table, this round table, and then like the chairs. I thought the combination was really nice next to the fireplace. But over here, I'm just placing some of these counters. So these are the counters that I was talking about that I used to both of the left and the right of the stove in the kitchen. This came from their patio themed set. And then over here, I'm just placing a table, and this bar decoration is functional. So this is what I was talking about. It is a fully functioning item, and it's a bar, so you don't have to have like a giant bar, which is great. So I think this is such a cool item, and I'm just really happy that they thought to do it. And the items, like the actual assets themselves, look so good, and it's perfect, and I just love it, and I want to see more things like it. So I'm completely obsessed. But yeah, up here on the balcony area, I just placed like some lounge chairs, a little seating area, another fireplace. I was going to place this one because it's the exact same one that I used on the other side of the wall, but I didn't really feel like it was an outdoor looking fireplace, so I just ended up using the same one that I used on the back patio area from Jungle Adventure, and I felt like that just fit in the space a little bit more nicely. Here I'm just placing some like candles and exterior lights. I felt like putting a few candles back here really added to that like romantic feel that I wanted the build to have, so I thought that was really pretty, and I feel like it's also kind of a nod to the way Harry builds and decorates because she uses a lot of candles, and of course this is her CC, you know, in collaboration with Felixander, of course, and so I felt like that was kind of fun. But yeah, I'm just using some lounge chairs like I mentioned, and then trying to figure out what I wanted to put in front of the fireplace. I just felt like an exterior dining table was kind of a nice little spot. You know, your Sims could come out here and have their breakfast or have a drink or a little snack or something and just sit out with a view of the jungle and swimming pool and everything. I just love that idea. I want to come here on vacation. But yeah, I'm just adding some plants and stuff as decoration. I really like that little table that I put in between the lounge chairs, and I just put a little drink decoration. That one is not a functioning item, it's just decorative, but I thought it looked super cute. Here I'm just swapping out the fireplace, and I actually sized it down. Something that you may not know about fireplaces in The Sims 4, you can scale them up and down, and the fire scales with it, which is so good. When I first sized up a fireplace, or sized it down, I can't remember which one it was, I thought that the fire would stay as like the default regular scale when your Sims lit the fire, but it doesn't. It scales with it, and it looks really good. So yeah, it's very useful when fitting fireplaces into certain areas. But down here on the lower sort of like closed patio, I'm not sure what you would call it, I just add another seating area with a little coffee table and a few decorations, and then another dining table. There's lots of places to sit in this build essentially, but they look so cute, and I loved adding these pillows. I love pillow decorations. They actually added these pillows to their organic set basically because of my request, I reviewed their first part, and I was talking about how I would love to see a pillow, and they weren't originally planning on adding one in their set, but then they decided to, so I'm forever grateful, and I just love the pillows. They're so pretty, and I love the swatches and everything. They're the same swatches that you can find on the curtains, which is really nice. So you can mix and match them, and the colors go perfectly together, or you can completely match them. But yeah, over here is the swimming pool area. The tile that I'm using on the bottom part of the swimming pool actually came from the Oasis kit. Is that what it's called? Courtyard Oasis, that's what it's called. Yeah, I thought that looked really pretty in there. Here I'm just adding a few accent walls. I completely forgot about these mural wallpapers that Harry and Felixander have. I'm not exactly sure which set they come from, but they are so pretty. And of course, they're very jungle looking. Actually, they might have came from the Tiny Traveler set. I can't remember. Either way, it came from one of their sets. Download all of them. But yeah, I just thought the actual murals themselves matched really well with the whole jungle theme, and so I just added like a few of them throughout the build, just as sort of like an accent piece to the wallpapers. But yeah, over here next to the swimming pool, I thought having some massage tables was like necessary because they're very romantic, especially having two of them next to each other. You could have like a couples massage, hire a couple of masseuses, and they would come right to your vacation home and massage your Sims, which I don't think it gets more luxurious than that, especially right here with like the view of the cliff's edge with all of the plants, and you can hear the birds chirping, and then there's the swimming pool. It's just I'm like obsessed. I need to go here. But yeah, I just placed a couple of plants and then the table in between the massage tables. These ones actually came from the revamp of Spa Day. There was a couple of them originally, but these ones are the new ones that were added. In case you're not recognizing them, the Sims team did go through and basically fix a few things about the pack and add a few more details with it. I think it's really cool that they did that. Like, I really like that they went through and did like a refresh of the pack, and I hope that they do more refreshes because there's a lot of packs that have been out for a really long time, and like the graphics in The Sims 4 has gotten better, and like the overall like design of a lot of the assets look better than they did in the original version of the game, just like the actual composition and the colors and stuff. So I would love to see more revamps. But anyways, here I'm finally working on the landscaping. I'm so happy that I waited because I did not like what I was doing originally. Of course, you guys didn't see it. It just felt kind of out of place, and like things did not have like a proper space. I don't know. It just felt awkward and I didn't like it. So I'm happy that I just decided to move on to the interior and wait till I was done, because I think the landscaping just ended up being so pretty, and I loved the combination of the different plants that I'm using. And I don't know, I really like it. I especially like this area over here by the outdoor fountain. I don't know why I called it an outdoor fountain. It's just a fountain. But it's outdoors and there's not one indoors. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm losing it, I think, but I put some benches around here and I just think it looks so cute. It's just a nice little seating area. I also added like a few decorative pots. And then, yeah, here I'm just placing some trees and the final few decorations. And then this is basically it for the build. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this one. And don't forget to check out the description box where you guys can find links to both Harry and Felixander's Patreon pages, as well as their website, which is called the House of Harlix, where you can download all of their collaborations, which I used in this build. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!